Kiro floated through the endless darkness of space round him. Stars sparkled like tiny diamonds scattered across black velvet. He had traveled for centuries, moving from one galaxy to another, watching worlds rise and fall. Yet none of them. Beauty he saw could replace the feeling he had once known on a small blue planet called Earth. He remembered her name, Mira. Her smile was bright, her laughter like music. Her warmth had filled the empty chambers of his heart, even now. Kiro could feel the memory of her touch. It was soft, gentle, and alive. It had reminded him of the life that was different from the cold perfection of the starborn worlds, Kiro's. People were made to travel, to explore, and to study. They did not feel emotions the way humans did. Yet he had learned something rare when he met Mira. He had learned to care. The starborn had rules about relationships with other species, but Kiro had not followed them. He had stayed on Earth for decades, learning from humans, laughing with them, and sharing simple joys. But time was cruel. Humans lived short lives compared to his kind. Mira had grown old and passed away while he remained young, unchanged by the years. The memory of her left a quiet ache in his chest, a reminder of what he had lost. Now, in the silence of his ship, Kiro stared at a holographic map of the stars. He traced the path that would lead him back to Earth. The planet had changed, of course, in the centuries he had been away. Cities had grown taller, oceans had shifted, and new forests had emerged. He did not know what to expect, but he needed to return. His heart longed for the warmth of Earth again, even if Mira was no longer there. Kiro's ship was smooth and silver, shaped like a teardrop of light. It had engines that moved without sound, slipping through space like a shadow. The control panels glowed softly with symbols only a starborn could understand. Kiro ran his long fingers over the controls, checking the coordinates once more. He needed to be precise. Earth was far, but it was familiar. As he prepared for the journey, Kiro thought about what he would find. Humans were clever and adaptable. They had survived wars, disasters, and even diseases that might have ended other species. He admired their resilience. Perhaps, he thought, he would find someone who reminded him of Mira, someone whose presence could bring warmth to his heart. Once more, the engines hummed and the ship moved forward, slipping through the void. Kiro watched stars stretch into lines as the ship accelerated. He did not speak. He did not need words. In space, silence was more powerful than speech. He thought about Mira again. He remembered the way she had taught him to enjoy simple things. A warm breeze on a spring morning, the taste of fresh fruit, the sound of a child laughing. His memory of her was a small light in the darkness, a spark that had never gone out. Days passed. Kiro traveled through asteroid fields, weaving between massive rocks with skill that came from centuries of experience. He passed gas giants with rings that glowed like fire, and comets that left trails of ice in their wake. He observed alien worlds, some filled with life, some dead and quiet. Nothing he saw could replace the thought of Earth. Nothing he saw could replace the memory of Mira. One night, as he drifted near a star that shone gold and white, Kiro paused. He closed his eyes and focused on his feelings. Loneliness was a strange companion for a starborn. They were taught to observe, to calculate, to explore without becoming attached. Yet he could not escape the pull of emotion. He wanted connection. He wanted warmth. He wanted to feel alive again. The ship began its descent toward Earth. Kiro watched the planet spin below him, oceans shining, mountains standing tall, forests moving with the wind, cities sparkle with lights like stars falling to the surface. He felt a thrill he had not felt in centuries. He had returned. He remembered how Mira had once told him that humans were fragile but strong, that they could feel deeply, and that their hearts could shine even in darkness. Kiro had understood then, but he understood it even more now. Earth was alive, not just with humans, but with the energy of life itself. He could sense it, feel it, and long for it. As the ship entered orbit, Kiro felt a strange nervousness. He was not returning to a home he had left, but to a memory he could never touch again. Still, he needed to see, to feel, and to connect with. the humans who had once taught him how to be more than a starborn. He needed to remember Mira in a way that went beyond memory. Kiro prepared to leave the safety of his ship. He adjusted the controls, checking the environmental shields and gravity fields. The descent would be delicate. Earth's atmosphere was thick and unpredictable, unlike the controlled environments of his starborn ships. He needed to arrive carefully, or he could damage the fragile planet and attract unwanted attention. Finally, the ship touched the atmosphere. Flames of friction surrounded the silver vessel as it passed through clouds and winds. Kiro felt a vibration in the hull, a reminder that he was returning to a world that lived and breathed. He felt alive in a way he had not felt in centuries. When the ship landed softly in a clearing surrounded by trees, Kiro stepped out. The wind touched his skin, carrying scents of grass, soil, and water. The sunlight felt warm and alive. He closed his eyes and breathed deeply. For the first time in centuries, he felt a connection that no star or galaxy could provide. He was home, even if the home he remembered had changed. Kiro opened his eyes and looked around. Earth was beautiful, dangerous, and full of life. Humans were small in comparison to the stars, but they carried a light inside them that no distance or time could erase. He smiled softly. His journey had only just begun, but he felt hope. He would find warmth, he would find connection, and perhaps, in the memory of Mira, he could learn to love again. Kiro stood in the middle of the clearing, feeling the wind brush against his skin. Trees swayed gently, their leaves whispering in the sunlight. Birds flew above, calling to each other in a language he did not understand, yet somehow felt familiar. The air was alive with life, and it filled Kiro with a strange mixture of wonder and longing. He had seen countless worlds among the stars, but Earth's beauty was different. It was warm, inviting, and full of motion. He walked slowly toward a river that wound through the forest like a ribbon of silver. The water sparkled as sunlight danced across it, and Kiro felt a memory stir inside him. He remembered Mira laughing by a river long ago, her hands trailing in the water. The memory brought a soft ache to his chest, but also a spark of hope. Perhaps Earth could still give him the warmth he had been seeking. Kiro had come to a time when humans had built cities that glimmered in the distance. From this clearing, he could see tall structures rising from the land, some shaped like towers, others like domes. Roads and vehicles moved like ants, carrying humans to their destinations. Kiro observed quietly. He did not want to startle them. Humans were cautious of the unknown, and he remembered how Mira had always taught him to be gentle with their trust. He decided to approach a nearby town to learn about its people. As he walked, he noticed small details that reminded him of the humans he had loved. Children ran through open fields, their laughter ringing in the air. Farmers tended their crops, bending low to the earth as they worked. The humans were simple, yet full of energy and life. Kiro could sense it in every movement, every sound dot as he entered the outskirts of the town. He realized how different humans were from Starborn. Starborn relied on precision, intelligence, and perfect calculation. Humans relied on feelings, intuition, and creativity. They solved problems in ways that made no sense to the Starborn mind. Yet they succeeded. Kiro smiled. This was the part of humanity that had always fascinated him. People began to notice Kiro. He was unlike anyone they had seen before. His skin had a soft glow. His eyes shimmered with strange light, and his presence carried an unexplainable calm. Some stepped back, unsure whether he was a friend or a threat. Others whispered to each other, curiosity mingling with fear. Kiro did not speak at first. He walked slowly, showing no sign of aggression, hoping to convey trust with his posture. In gestures, a small human boy approached him first. His name was Taro. He had messy hair, bright eyes, and a natural curiosity that shone on his face. Taro stared at Kiro without fear, only wonder. Kiro bent slightly to match the boy's height and extended a hand. Taro hesitated, then touched it lightly. The warmth of the human hand was stronger than Kiro remembered, and it brought a shiver of recognition to his body. He felt alive in a way he had not felt in centuries. "Who are you?" Taro asked softly. His voice was gentle but steady. "I am Kiro." he replied, using the simple language he had practiced for years. I come from far away. Taro tilted his head, studying him closely. Far away. How far? Beyond the stars, Kiro said. He saw no reason to hide who he was. I have traveled a long time to reach here. Taro's eyes widened. Are you a traveler from another world? Kiro nodded. Yes. I wish to learn about your people. I wish to understand you. Taro's curiosity overcame his caution. He offered to guide Kiro through the town. Introducing him to simple human customs, Kiro observed everything carefully. He noticed how humans greeted each other with a handshake or a hug, how they smiled when happy, and how they worked together to solve small problems. These simple gestures fascinated him. He remembered Mira teaching him these things long ago, and he felt a pang of longing in his heart. The townspeople watched Kiro and Taro together. Some hid behind buildings or peeked from windows. Others gathered in small groups to discuss what they were seeing. Kiro sensed their fear, but he also sensed curiosity. Humans were naturally drawn to what was different, even if it made them cautious. Kiro decided to show them that he meant no harm. He helped a farmer lift a heavy sack of grain and guided a lost child back to his parents. Each small act of kindness built trust. At night, Kiro and Taro walked along a hill that overlooked the town. Lights flickered below like stars brought to the ground. The wind carried the smell of earth, water, and growing things. Kiro felt a deep sense of connection to this world, to humans, and to the memory of Mira. Do you miss your home, Taro? Asked suddenly. Kiro thought for a moment. Yes, he said quietly. But now, I am learning that home can be more than a place. It can be a feeling. It can be warmth, trust, and friendship. Taro nodded, understanding more than Kiro expected. I think humans can give that, he said. Even if we are small, we try to care for each other. Kiro smiled. The boy's words echoed what he had felt long ago with Mira. Humanity was fragile, yet strong. They could love, protect, and endure. This was something no star or galaxy could provide. Kiro realized that his journey to Earth was not only about remembering the past but about discovering a new future. Suddenly, Kiro noticed strange lights in the sky above the town. They moved quickly, precise, and dangerous. Kiro recognized them immediately. They were patrol ships from his own starborn species, sent to retrieve him. He felt a twinge of fear, but also determination. He could not leave Earth behind. Humans were vulnerable, but they were brave. He would protect them. Taro saw the tension on Kiro's face. What is it? He asked. They are patrol ships, Kiro explained. They will not understand why I'm here. They may cause harm. We must be careful. Taro nodded. Then we will be careful together. Kiro felt a warmth in his chest at Taro's courage. Humans were unpredictable, yet courageous. He realized that this unpredictability, combined with their determination, made them strong in ways that even Starborn could not fully understand. As the patrol ships approached, Kiro and Taro retreated to a nearby forest. Shadows moved around them, but Kiro felt no panic. He had lived for centuries, seen countless dangers, and learned the value of patience. Yet, this moment felt different. This was not just survival. This was the start of a connection, a chance to protect something precious. Kiro looked at Taro and smiled. We will find a way, he said. Together, we will show that humans are not just small and fragile. You have strength that even stars cannot match. Taro returned the smile, simple and full of trust. Kiro felt hope bloom in his chest. Earth was alive. Humans were alive. And for the first time in centuries, he felt that warmth he had been seeking. The forest grew quiet as night settled. Stars sparkled above, reminding Kiro of his travels. Yet now, he understood that the warmth of Earth was unlike anything he had known among the stars. He was home in a way that went beyond memory. He was home in the presence of humans, their courage, and their simple, unwavering spirit. Kiro and Taro crouched among the trees, their eyes fixed on the lights of the approaching patrol ships. The forest around them was dense, the smell of wet earth and growing plants strong in the night air. Kiro could feel the energy of Earth itself, vibrant and alive, and it gave him courage. This was not a place for fear. This was a place to protect, to fight if necessary, and to show the strength of humans. Taro whispered, "Do you think they will find us?" Kiro shook his head slowly. "They may try, but we have something they do not. The humans here have courage, cleverness, and the will to protect their world. That will be our advantage." The boy's eyes widened. "We can do that," Kiro smiled. "Yes, together, we can." They moved silently through the trees. Following the edge of the town without being seen, Kiro noticed the patrol ships scanning the area, their searchlights cutting through the night. The ships were sleek, cold, and precise, like the starboard who had sent them. They did not understand the humans below. They saw only small, fragile beings and assumed they could be easily controlled. Kiro felt a surge of determination. He would prove them wrong. As they moved closer to the town, Kiro and Taro reached a hill that overlooked the main street. From this vantage point, Kiro could see people moving cautiously, unaware of the danger above them. Streetlights flickered, casting long shadows on the ground. The humans were vulnerable, but Kiro could also see their potential. Each person carried strength in small ways. Each gesture of care, each act of attention, showed a resilience that no starboard patrol could predict. Kiro whispered to Taro, "We need to warn them." Taro nodded. "How?" "They might not believe us." Kiro thought for a moment. "We will show them. We will give them a chance to act, not just react. Humans have ingenuity. They will find ways to protect themselves if they understand the danger." Kiro stepped into a small clearing at the edge of the town and projected a soft light from his hands. The glow illuminated him, gentle and inviting, not threatening. People noticed him and froze, unsure of what to do. Kiro raised his hands, not in aggression, but in a gesture of warning. "Humans," he called, his voice calm but firm. "Danger approaches. Ships from the stars are coming to take me. They do not understand your world, and they may harm you. You must prepare." A man stepped forward cautiously. "Who? What are you?" "I'm Kiro," he said. "I'm not your enemy, but the patrol ships above are. You are strong, clever, and brave. You can protect yourselves if you work together." The people exchanged glances, hesitation written on every face. Some were frightened, but others began to nod. Slowly, the understanding spread. Humans, though small and fragile compared to the ships above, had something the starboard could not calculate. They had courage, determination, and teamwork. Kiro moved quickly, showing them ways to avoid detection and to use their environment to their advantage. They dug small trenches, hid behind buildings, and used simple devices to block the patrol. Sensors, Taro ran from group to group, spreading Kiro's instructions with energy and clarity. The humans listened, learning quickly, adapting faster than Kiro had expected. Above them, the patrol ships hovered, scanning the area with cold precision. Their sensors were designed to detect heat, movement, and energy signatures, but they could not measure courage, intuition, or creativity. The humans, guided by Kiro, became a living shield of unpredictability. They moved in ways the patrol ships did not expect. Using shadows, misdirection, and clever traps, Kiro watched with quiet pride. Humans were fragile in appearance, but their minds were sharp. Their hearts were brave. He remembered Mira and the lessons she had taught him about humanity. They were alive in every sense of the word, and their strength was not in physical power, but in spirit. As the patrol ships began to adjust their approach, Kiro knew it was time to act. He extended his hands and released a wave of energy that disabled the ship's sensors temporarily. Lights flickered and screens went dark inside. The vessels, the starboard inside the ships, would not understand what had happened. It was not brute force that stopped them. It was intelligence, adaptability, and the courage of humans working together. Taro clapped his hands excitedly. "It worked. They can't see us." Kiro nodded. "Yes, but we must stay alert. They will try again. Remember, humans, your strength comes from your hearts, your courage, and your ability to work together. You are more powerful than you realize." The townspeople began to move confidently, setting simple barriers and warning each other of any suspicious movement. Children were guided to safe spaces, and adults prepared makeshift defenses using tools, furniture, and whatever they could. Fine, the energy of the town shifted. Fear was still present, but it was joined by determination. Kiro felt something inside him warm and bright. He was not alone. He had found warmth, even in the uncertainty of danger. Suddenly, one of the patrol ships descended closer, and its light swept across the town. Kiro moved to block it, projecting a beam of energy that caused the light to scatter. The humans took cover, and then, following Kiro's instructions, used mirrors and reflective surfaces to redirect the searchlight away from them, the starboard. Inside the ship were confused. They did not understand the ingenuity of humans. Taro ran to Kiro's side. "They're coming down," he shouted. Kiro, "Remain calm. Let them come. We will show them that humans are not easy to control." The ship landed on the outskirts of the town, and starboard beings emerged. They were tall, precise, and emotionless, expecting the humans to panic. Instead, they found a town ready for them. Simple barricades, clever traps, and strategic positions challenged every step they took. The starboard were forced to pause, unsure how to proceed. Kiro stepped forward, his presence commanding but peaceful. "I am not your prisoner," he said. "These humans are not your subjects. You will not take them lightly. They are strong, clever, and brave. You will see what I mean." The starboard leader hesitated. No one had ever spoken to him this way. He saw humans working together, not fleeing. He saw small beings with courage larger than his expectations. And he saw Kiro, a starboard who had chosen humanity over the cold rules of his own kind. Kiro smiled softly. "Do you understand now? Strength is not always in size or speed. It is in heart, in will, and in courage. Humans have that in abundance." The leader of the patrol ships made a gesture, and the beings retreated, unable to comprehend how a town of humans, guided by one starboard, could resist their calculated invasion. Kiro turned to the humans, pride shining in his eyes. "You did well," he said. "This is the power of your hearts. This is what makes you strong." Taro beamed. "We really did it. We protected our town." Kiro nodded. "Yes, you did. And you have shown me that Earth is worth protecting, and that warmth can exist even among the stars." The patrol ships left, disappearing into the night sky. The town was safe, but the lesson had been clear. Humans, though small and fragile, could stand against forces much greater than themselves when they worked together and believed in their courage. Kiro looked at Taro and the townspeople and felt a warmth he had not felt in centuries. Mirrors. Memory was alive in this moment, not as a loss, but as a guide. He had found connection, courage, and the true spirit of humanity. Earth was alive, and he was home in a way that no star could ever replace. The morning sun rose slowly over the town, casting golden light across the fields and streets. Kiro stood at the edge of the forest, feeling the warmth on his skin. The night had been full of tension, but the town had survived. Humans had shown courage, cleverness, and heart. Kiro felt pride in them, but he also felt curiosity stirring within himself. Earth held secrets, mysteries that he had never seen among the stars, and he wanted to explore them. Taro ran up to him, excitement in his eyes. "Kiro, come see. We found something strange near the river." Kiro followed the boy. Stepping carefully over roots and rocks, the forest grew denser, and the sound of the river became louder as they approached. When they reached the river bank, Kiro saw something unusual. Stones and rocks were arranged in patterns that did not appear natural. Some glowed faintly in the sunlight, almost as if they had a life of their own. "What is this?" Taro asked, pointing at the stones. "I do not know yet," Kiro replied. He bent down and examined them closely. They were smooth, almost polished, and each stone seemed to resonate with a subtle energy. Kiro could feel it in his hands, a vibration that was not harmful but alive, almost aware. "Do you think it's magic?" Taro asked, his voice full of wonder. Kiro smiled gently. "Perhaps not magic, but something very old, something that belongs to Earth, long before humans and long before many stars. as they studied the stones. Kiro noticed symbols etched faintly on their surfaces. The symbols were simple lines and circles, but they formed a pattern. Kiro traced them with his fingers, and a strange feeling passed through him. He could sense that the stones were not just decorative. They were a message, a signal, a record of something important. We should follow the pattern. Kiro said, "It may lead to more answers." Taro nodded eagerly. Together, they walked along the river, following the line of glowing stones. The path led them through the forest, over small hills, and eventually to a hidden cave. The entrance was covered with vines and moss, almost invisible to anyone passing by. Kiro moved the vines aside carefully, revealing the dark mouth of the cave. "Be careful," Kiro said. "We do not know what is inside." Taro nodded, gripping Kiro's hand. The boy's trust gave Kiro a sense of responsibility stronger than he had ever felt among the stars. He stepped inside the cave first, his glowing skin lighting the way. The walls were covered in more symbols, etched deeply into the stone. The air was cool, damp, and filled with the scent of earth. It felt alive, as if the cave itself was watching. Then, Kiro and Taro walked deeper into the cave. Small streams of water trickled along the walls, and faint sounds echoed in the distance. The symbols began to glow more brightly as they progressed. Kiro could sense a connection between the symbols, the stones, and the river outside. They were part of a network, a system designed to store knowledge or power. "This place is amazing." Taro whispered, "It feels like it's alive." "Yes," Kiro said softly. "It carries the memory of Earth, something that has existed for thousands of years. Humans have only begun to understand their world, but it has always been alive and full of secrets." As they moved further, they reached a large chamber. The walls glowed with faint energy, and in the center of the room was a stone pedestal. On the pedestal lay a crystal, smooth and transparent, reflecting light in all directions. Kiro approached it cautiously, feeling the crystal's energy. It was different from the stones outside. It was powerful, calm, and wise. "This is important," Kiro said. "This crystal may hold knowledge or a message. It may be the key to understanding something very old." Taro reached out to touch it, but Kiro stopped him gently. "Be careful. It is not a toy. It must be approached with respect." Kiro extended his hands toward the crystal, and it responded. A soft glow spread through the chamber, illuminating the walls and symbols. Images appeared in the light, shapes of mountains, rivers, forests, and strange beings that did not resemble humans or stubborn. Kiro felt a connection to them, a memory of Earth long before humans had walked upon it. "The planet remembers," Kiro said quietly. "It has a history older than any star I have visited, and now it is showing it to us." Taro gasped. "It's beautiful. Do you think the humans knew about this?" Kiro shook his head. "Some may have sensed it, but most have not. Humans are only beginning to understand the depth of their world. That is why we must protect it. There are forces that will not understand Earth's value, forces that only see it as a resource, not as a living world." The crystal pulsed, and Kiro felt a sudden vision. He saw the patrol ships returning, but this time, something was different. The humans, guided by courage and cleverness, stood ready. They were not alone. Earth itself was part of their strength. He realized that the planet could communicate through subtle energy, through the stones and symbols, giving guidance to those who were brave enough to notice. "This crystal may help us defend Earth." Kiro said, "It is a gift from the planet, a way for humans and Starburn to work together with nature itself." Taro looked up at him, eyes wide. "Do you think it will help us stop the patrol ships?" Kiro nodded. "Yes, but first, we must learn its secrets. We must understand how it works and how it connects to the stones and symbols we found outside." They spent hours in the cave, studying the crystal and symbols. Kiro taught Taro how to feel the energy, how to sense patterns, and how to follow the subtle guidance of Earth itself. Taro learned quickly, his excitement and courage fueling his understanding. Together, they discovered that the crystal could focus energy, reveal hidden paths, and even communicate through light and vibration. By the time the sun began to set, Kiro and Taro emerged from the cave, their minds full of new knowledge. The forest around them glowed softly in the fading light, and the river sparkled as if celebrating their discovery. Kiro knew that their journey had only begun. Earth held more secrets, more mysteries, and more challenges. But he also knew that, with humans by his side, guided by courage and heart, they could face whatever came next. Taro turned to Kiro, a bright smile on his face. "We found something amazing, didn't we?" "Yes," Kiro replied, "and this is only the beginning. Earth has much to teach us, and we will learn it together. Humans have strength in ways that even stars cannot understand, and that is something worth protecting." Kiro looked at the horizon. Where the sky met the earth, he felt a sense of purpose, of belonging, and of hope. The warmth he had been seeking was no longer a memory or a dream. It was here, in the courage of humans, in the heart of Earth, and in the bond he shared with Taro. The future was uncertain, but for the first time in centuries, Kiro felt that it could be bright. The town was quiet in the early morning, but Kiro could feel the tension in the air. The people were not afraid anymore, but they were alert. They had seen what the patrol ships could do, and now they understood that courage alone would not be enough. Preparation was necessary. Kiro and Taro walked through the streets, observing how humans work together to strengthen their defenses. "We need to organize them," Kiro said softly. "Courage is powerful, but planning makes it stronger. Humans will need roles, strategies, and ways to communicate quickly." Taro nodded eagerly. "I can help. We can make signals or flags, and show them where to stand and what to do." Kiro smiled at the boy's energy. "Yes, and we will combine their ingenuity with the knowledge from the crystal. Earth itself can guide us." They began by gathering the townspeople at the central square. Kiro explained the importance of teamwork and organization. "Each of you has a part to play," he said. "The patrol ships will try to predict your actions, but you can be unpredictable. Use what you know. Use what Earth gives you. We are stronger together." The humans listened closely. Some were still cautious, but most were eager to help. Kiro could sense their determination growing. He divided them into groups. One group would watch for patrol ships from elevated positions. Another group would create barriers and traps using everyday tools. A third group, mostly children and young people, would act as messengers, relaying information quickly across the town. Taro helped teach the children how to signal safely. Using mirrors, lights, and colored cloths, the kids were excited to participate. They ran between buildings and trees, practicing their movements with laughter and precision. Kiro watched them and felt warmth in his heart. Human spirit was stronger than he had imagined, and their joy made him feel connected to this planet in a way he never had among the stars. Meanwhile, Kiro led a small team to the cave near the river. They brought stones, crystals, and symbols from the riverbank. Kiro showed them how to use the energy of the crystal to strengthen the town's defenses. Light beams from the crystal could mark hidden paths, detect movement, and even warn of danger before it arrived. The humans were amazed at how the energy seemed alive, responding to their intentions and actions. "This is incredible," one of the adults said. "It's like the Earth itself is helping us." "Yes," Kiro replied. "Earth has always been alive. It remembers everything and can guide those who are brave enough to listen." As the day passed, the town transformed. Simple barricades became clever obstacles. Mirrors reflected light to warn of approaching ships. Signals from the children moved quickly through the town, carrying messages faster than any human could run. Kiro taught the adults how to use the energy from the crystal to reinforce weak points. The humans began to understand that their strength was not in weapons or machines, but in cleverness, coordination, and connection to their planet. Taro ran back to Kiro with excitement. "Kiro, look, we can make patterns with mirrors to confuse the patrol ships. They will think there are more people than there really are." Kiro examined the layout. "Exactly. Humans are unpredictable. The starboard may have advanced technology, but they cannot predict imagination. Your creativity is a weapon." As night approached, Kiro and Taro climbed the hill overlooking the town. The sky was dark, But the stars above were bright. Kiro felt a strange mix of excitement and concern. The patrol ships could return at any time, and Earth's secrets were still largely unknown. But he also felt hope. Humans were learning, growing stronger, and connecting with their world in ways the Starborn could never predict. Taro looked up at Kiro. Do you think they will come back tonight? Kiro nodded. It is possible. But we are ready, and Earth is ready. Courage, intelligence, and preparation are powerful. We will show them that this planet is not easy to take. Suddenly, the wind shifted, and Kiro felt a subtle vibration in the ground. He knew the signal before he even saw it. The patrol ships were approaching. Their presence was silent, almost like shadows moving across the land. Kiro extended his senses through the crystal, feeling the energy of Earth connecting with the town. Every human, every tree, every stone seemed linked in one network of awareness. They are coming. Kiro said, "Everyone, be ready." The first lights of the patrol ships appeared over the horizon. The humans moved into their positions. Combat alert. Children signaled with mirrors. Adults adjusted barricades. And Kiro guided the use of the crystal's energy. The town was alive with coordinated effort, a force that was invisible yet powerful. The patrol ships hovered above, scanning the town. Kiro could see the Starborn trying to predict the movements of the humans. But the humans were not predictable. They moved as one with Earth, using patterns, shadows, and energy signals. The Starborn were confused. Their calculations could not account for courage, imagination, or connection to the planet. Kiro whispered to Taro, "Remember, it is not just about fighting. It is about showing strength, cleverness, and unity. That is what makes humans different. That is what makes them powerful." Taro nodded. "We can do this. We really can." The patrol ships descended closer, attempting to land near the town. The humans used mirrors, lights, and small energy barriers created with the crystal to confuse and redirect the ships. Kiro felt the energy of the planet flow through him, amplifying their efforts. The ships landed awkwardly, scanning the area with sensors that could not detect spirit, heart, or courage. The humans moved quickly, blocking entrances, signaling to each other, and using the environment cleverly. Trees, rocks, and rivers became part of their defense. The patrol ships could not predict their actions. The Starborn beings paused, realizing that they had underestimated the humans. Kiro stepped forward, projecting a wave of energy that highlighted the town's strength. The humans followed, moving confidently and deliberately. The patrol ships attempted to advance, but each move was countered with creativity and intelligence. The Starborn could not adapt quickly enough. Finally, after tense moments, the ships retreated. They left the town, confused and cautious. Kiro and Taro watched from the hill as the patrol ships disappeared into the night sky. The humans cheered, but they were not reckless. They understood that vigilance and preparation were ongoing. Earth was alive, and together they had proven their strength. Kiro smiled at the town below. "You did well. You have shown that courage and intelligence, when combined, are stronger than any force that comes from the stars. This is only the beginning. There are more challenges ahead, but you are ready." Taro grinned. "We really protected our town, and we did it together." Kiro nodded. "Yes, together, humans and Earth are unstoppable, and I will stay to help, to learn, and to protect what is worth protecting. The warmth of this world is strong, and we will defend it." As they looked at the stars above, Kiro felt a sense of connection stronger than he had ever known. The patrol ships might return, but now the humans were prepared. Earth's energy, courage, and intelligence had joined as one, and Kiro knew that no matter what came next, they would face it together. The morning after the patrol ships had retreated, the town was quiet, but the tension remained. Kiro walked with Taro along the riverbank, feeling the gentle hum of the earth beneath his feet. The crystal from the cave was still glowing softly, and its energy pulsed through the ground, giving him a sense of reassurance. The humans had learned quickly, but Kiro knew that vigilance was always necessary. "Do you think they will come back?" Taro asked, skipping over small rocks in the river. "Perhaps. Kiro replied, but the challenge may not come from them alone. Earth has secrets, and not all of them are friendly. Some forces in the world are hidden, waiting for the right moment to appear. We must be prepared for anything. As they spoke, a subtle vibration moved through the riverbank. Kiro stopped, sensing the energy shift. It was different from the patrol ships, sharper, colder. Something was approaching, but it was not like the starburn they had seen before. What is it? Taro asked, his voice slightly trembling. I do not know, Kiro said carefully, but we will find out. Let us return to the town and alert the others. They ran back through the forest, moving quickly but quietly. When they reached the town, Kiro called a meeting in the central square. The townspeople gathered, sensing the urgency in his voice. Kiro explained the unusual energy and how it was unlike anything they had faced. We must remain calm, Kiro said. Fear will not help us. We have prepared for many challenges, but this one may require more than physical strength. It may require wisdom, courage, and connection with Earth itself. The humans nodded. Their eyes were wide, but determination shone through. Kiro could see that their confidence had grown since the previous encounter with the patrol ships. They were ready to face uncertainty with cleverness and heart. As the sun reached its highest point, a shadow moved across the town. It was subtle at first, a darkness in the sky that blocked the sunlight for a moment. Then another appeared, and another, until several strange ships hovered above. These ships were different from the patrol ships. They were sleek, black, and silent. Their surfaces shimmered, reflecting the sky in distorted patterns. Kiro raised his hands, sensing the energy of Earth through the crystal. The planet responded, sending a pulse of strength and guidance through the ground. The humans felt it as, well, an invisible connection to the world beneath their feet. They are testing us, Kiro said. These ships may be scouting, or they may be searching for something. We must stay alert and respond carefully. The humans moved into position, following the plans they had practiced. Mirrors reflected sunlight to create illusions of larger groups. Barricades were adjusted, and messengers ran swiftly to maintain communication. Kiro focused on the crystal, sensing the hidden currents of energy flowing through the town. He realized that Earth itself could guide them, showing paths, warning of danger, and amplifying their efforts. Suddenly, a beam of energy shot from one of the black ships toward the forest. Kiro extended his senses, and the energy did not harm the trees. Instead, it seemed to probe. Searching for weaknesses, scanning for life, Kiro reacted quickly, channeling energy from the crystal into the ground. The trees glowed faintly, creating a protective shield that diverted the beam harmlessly into the sky. Taro watched in awe. It's like the Earth is fighting with us. Yes, Kiro said. It is alive. It can protect those who respect it and work together. This is why we must stay connected, to feel its guidance and respond wisely. The black ships began to descend closer to the town. Kiro could see strange creatures inside, moving with precision and intelligence. They were unlike the starboard patrols. Their movements were swift and coordinated, and their eyes glowed faintly. Sensing the energy of Earth, Kiro realized that this threat was more dangerous, not because of sheer power, but because of cunning and strategy. Humans, stay calm, Kiro instructed. Do not attack recklessly. Use your minds, your senses, and your connection to Earth. We will show them that this planet is not to be taken lightly. The townspeople followed his instructions carefully. They created decoys, moved strategically, and used signals to confuse the intruders. Kiro guided them through the crystal, showing how to amplify subtle energy flows to create protective barriers and reveal hidden paths. The humans were quick learners, and their coordination began to frustrate the black ships. One of the ships sent a small scout to the ground. It was sleek and silent. Gliding across the fields toward the town, Kiro extended his energy, guiding a beam from the crystal. To illuminate its presence, the humans reacted instantly, using nets and simple tools to capture the scout without harming it. When Kiro examined the creature, he saw that it was intelligent but curious rather than aggressive. It is observing us, Kiro said. Not all threats are meant to destroy. some are tests, some are seeking understanding. We must be careful how we respond. The humans released the scout after studying it. The black ships hovered, waiting, but seemed to hesitate. Kira realized that their strategy relied on fear and confusion. But the humans were calm, alert, and united. The town had become more than just buildings and people. It was a living network, connected to the energy of Earth and guided by intelligence and courage. As the day passed, Kiro taught the humans to use the natural features of the land to their advantage. Hills could block energy scans, rivers could redirect beams, and forests could provide cover. The humans learned quickly, moving with confidence and skill. They were no longer just defending their homes, they were becoming part of Earth's living defense. By evening, the black ships began to retreat, not out of fear, but out of recognition. The humans had shown that they were unpredictable, clever, and united with their world in a way the invaders could not control. Kiro felt a sense of pride in their accomplishments. Taro ran to Kiro, excitement shining on his face. We did it again. We stopped them without even fighting directly. Kiro nodded. Yes, strength is not always about fighting. It is about understanding, preparation, and connection. Earth has taught us a valuable lesson. We are not alone, and we are never powerless when we respect the world and each other. As the sun set, casting orange and pink across the sky, Kiro and Taro looked over the town. Humans were repairing barriers, sharing stories, and laughing quietly after the tension of the day. Kiro felt the warmth he had been seeking for so long. It was not just the sunlight or the energy of the crystal. It was the courage, unity, and intelligence of humans, combined with the strength of Earth. This is only the beginning, Kiro said softly to Taro. The universe is full of challenges, but together we will face them. The planet is alive. Humans are brave, and we are learning. Nothing is stronger than that. Taro smiled and nodded. Then let's keep learning, Kiro. Let's make sure our town is ready for anything. Kiro extended his hand, feeling the gentle pulse of the crystal. Yes, Taro, together, we will protect this world, discover its secrets, and show that courage and unity are the true power of Earth. The stars above began to twinkle as night fell. Kiro knew that more challenges would come, but he also knew that the humans were no longer afraid. They were ready, and for the first time, Kiro felt that he had truly found a place where he belonged. The town slept under a quiet, starry sky, but Kiro and Taro stayed awake on the hill overlooking their home. The events of the past days had shown them that danger could appear from anywhere, but they had also seen the incredible power of unity, courage, and connection to Earth. Taro rubbed his eyes and yawned. Do you think we will have another attack? Kiro looked at the stars, feeling the pulse of Earth beneath his feet. Perhaps. The universe is full of challenges, but we have learned a lot. The real strength is not only in defending, but in understanding, adapting, and trusting the world and each other. Suddenly, the ground trembled faintly. Kiro felt it through the crystal, a deep, rhythmic vibration that was unlike anything they had sensed before. It was not from the ships, and it did not feel like movement of humans or animals. It came from deep within the planet. This is different, Kiro said, standing. Something ancient is awakening. We must investigate. Taro nodded, excitement and fear mixed in his eyes. Together, they followed the vibration toward the forest. As they moved, the crystal pulsed more strongly, guiding them. The light revealed a hidden path, covered with roots and stones, that led to a deep cavern. The air was cooler here, filled with energy that made their hearts beat faster. Inside the cavern, the walls glowed faintly, covered with strange symbols and natural formations that seemed alive. The crystal resonated with the energy, and Kiro felt a powerful presence. He realized that this was the heart of Earth, a place where the planet's energy was concentrated and could communicate with those who were willing to listen. Taro looked around in awe. It's beautiful, and it feels alive. Yes, Kiro said softly, Earth itself has a heart, and it speaks to those who are ready. The energy here is stronger than anything we have used before. If we connect with it, we can protect our town and the world in ways we cannot imagine. as Kiro approached the center of the cavern. The ground shifted slightly. Light rose from the floor, forming a pattern that mirrored the layout of the town. Kiro realized that Earth was showing him how the town and its people were connected to the planet. Like a living network. This is incredible, Kiro whispered. The Earth has been waiting for someone to understand this. It is teaching us how to become part of its defense, to act as one with it. Taro stepped forward and touched the glowing pattern. Energy surged through him, and he gasped. The vibrations from the ground filled him with warmth and courage. He understood, in a way words could not describe, how to sense danger, guide others, and strengthen Earth's protection. Outside, the black ships from before appeared again. This time, they moved quickly and purposefully. Kiro and Taro knew that. These visitors were testing them, but Earth's heart had given them a new power. Kiro reached for the crystal, and it glowed brighter than ever. Humans, stay calm. Kiro called through the network. Follow the energy. Trust your connection with Earth. Together, we are stronger than any force from the stars. The townspeople felt the pulse of the crystal and the energy of Earth. They moved with new confidence, coordinating effortlessly. The beams of light from mirrors, the movement of messengers, and the energy barriers created a protective shield that surrounded the town. The black ships approached, but this time, their sensors could not detect the strength of unity, courage, and life energy. Kiro stepped forward in the cavern and focused on the heart of Earth. Light spread from the center, extending in invisible waves across the town and forest. The humans felt it as strength and clarity. Their movements were guided by instinct, intelligence, and energy that came from the planet itself. The black ships hesitated. They had never encountered a force like this, one that was alive, unpredictable, and connected to every living thing in a town. Kiro realized that Earth's energy could shield, guide, and even repel invaders without harm. Taro grinned, his eyes shining with excitement. We can do this. The town is protected by the planet itself. Yes, Kiro said, smiling at the boy. This is the real power. Not weapons, not technology, but courage, unity, and connection with Earth. That is unstoppable. The black ships tried to land, but invisible barriers diverted their paths. Beams from the crystal illuminated weaknesses in their movements. Every attempt they made to approach the town was countered by the combined energy of humans and Earth. The invaders could not understand the force they faced, and slowly, they began to retreat. Kiro looked over the town, glowing under the energy of the crystal. Humans, you have done more than defend your homes. You have learned to act as one with the world. And that is the greatest strength anyone can have. This is why Earth protects you. The black ships disappeared into the night sky. The town erupted in cheers, but Kiro and Taro did not celebrate recklessly. They knew that vigilance was important, but they also understood the importance of trust and connection. Taro ran to Kiro and hugged him. We really did it. We saved the town, and Earth helped us. Kiro nodded, feeling a deep warmth. Yes, Taro, and we have learned something more valuable than victory. We have learned that courage, intelligence, and unity are powerful beyond any stubborn technology. Earth is alive, and we are a part of it. That night, the town gathered around the crystal, sharing stories of bravery, cleverness, and teamwork. Kiro spoke to them about the heart of Earth and how its energy could guide them in the future. The humans listened, inspired and proud. They were no longer just inhabitants of a small town. They were protectors of their world, connected to a power that was ancient and alive. As Kiro and Taro looked up at the stars, they felt peace. The patrol ships might return, and new challenges might arise, but they were ready. They had discovered the true strength of Earth, of humans, and of courage. No force from the stars could break what they had built together. Kiro smiled at the boy. We have found warmth, Taro. Not just the warmth of the sun or the crystal, but the warmth of life, unity, and courage. That is the most powerful force in the universe. Taro nodded, his eyes shining with understanding. Then we will protect it, Kiro. Always. The crystal pulsed softly in the night, reflecting the stars above. Kiro felt its energy and whispered, yes, always. The town slept, calm and strong, connected to Earth and each other. The future was uncertain, but together, humans and Kiro knew they could face anything. The heart of Earth had shown them the way, and its warmth would never fade. The universe was vast, but the bond between courage, intelligence, and life was stronger than any force in the stars. And on that night, under the gentle glow of the crystal and the watchful stars, Earth felt alive, humans felt powerful, and Kiro finally felt at home.